Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Black heart, black mind, black in again. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. This message is going to be about a possible live stream, but I can't guarantee it. However, this is in regards to the two extremes in regards to black suffering and trauma. One extreme is the conservative and the Republican, and that's different from the black conservative. The conservative or the Republican believes everything coming out of the Republican camp, of course, and Trump's the greatest thing to ever happen. He's, greatest thing since sliced bread in their minds, and all of the Republican rhetoric is true. Those are Republicans and conservatives. And they're like that bowl cut having Negro that was on the video with the Proud Boys screaming FBLM and all that stuff. Understand that white conservatism is racism and it's white supremacy. And it is hypocritical. And if you support it, you're a coon and a sellout. Unless you just didn't know that that's what it was. And even then, I don't know how you could not know. I don't know how you could not at least suspect it. The opposite extreme to them is what even I, when I was pro-black and not just pro-black male, would have called a pro-whack or a no-tip. That's an extreme. Them niggas walk around here talking about the ancient Kemetic civilizations, not civilizations, but civilizations, excuse me, of ancient Egypt, and how the ancient black man could fly and didn't have to use the bathroom, and that's where all black people come from. Not Africa, but ancient Egypt, Kemet. And it's all about Mott. Those guys are an extreme. They are out there, bunch of crab-eyed or cross-eyed fools preaching all kind of crazy stuff that doesn't make any sense. And that sometimes even includes the ones that just talk about indigenous and sovereign and black people being not from Africa but Native Americans and never having been to Africa, stuff like that. I'm not talking even about the ones who say that there were black people among the Native Americans, but some people say, some people are just really out there. And all the evidence in the world don't help them. That's one extreme. The difference is that they're already being censured and marginalized. As a matter of fact, a lot of times, by the time you get to that point, before you get that far, you're already considered to be crazy and you're marginalized. And you're sexually marginalized by the black women that you idolize in the community as Queen, Goddess, Mother Earth, and all that other stuff. So you don't have the babies to whom you can pass this stuff on. They wait until the kids are, old enough to be too bad to control, but also too old for you to mold to decide that you get to be stepdad. But that's it. So, that's what that scene in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker was about. When he went to the People's Revolutionary Party headquarters and there was that brother, and he had the white single mom and her kids as his stepkids. That's actually what that was commentary on. I understand it. See, there is that whackness, that insanity in that direction too. And they will sit up and take white supremacy and slave and Jim Crow and use them as excuses for things that we do get to control. But they're already catching it for that. Someone's already censoring and marginalizing them for that. Notice I didn't say censoring, because they're not being stopped from saying the crazy stuff they say. They're being censured. Because, number one, they are locked out of opportunities in corporate America. And they're locked out of a certain level of mainstream acceptance in black America, especially sexually. Let's not call it anything else, because that's what we see. So I don't have to go in on them as much because I don't already left them crazy jungle bunnies. Matter of fact, it's more like they left us. And then secondly, enough people already going in on them and their numbers are small, they shrinking. The opposite is growing. Well, stop talking about slavery. Stop using it as an excuse. So even when somebody merely talks about it in a historical context with real life modern day legacies, y'all jump up, y'all interrupt. Adults are talking and your childish behinds want to jump up and interrupt the adults like that crazy Negro did on Fantastic's panel. It wasn't Mr. Fantastic, but one of them crazy Negroes ready to hold black women accountable. But then as soon as I mentioned something in the historical context of slavery that was applicable to what we were talking about, he jumps up, interrupts me like I'm not done yet. I'm talking about people like this. Not the ones that believe in moral conservative values for black people because we need them. Hell, I'm a Muslim. You ain't gonna get more conservative than me. I don't think we should fornicate. And I say this. But the ones who believe that we should have white conservative values. If I get to do the live stream, come on up and catch all. Give me all the smoke, actually, because I'm not giving you smoke back. I'm giving you fire. As pale as I am, you're going to be 3 shades darker by the time I'm done with you. Because I'm sick of you unbalanced, crazy niggas, and you are a threat to black people because your numbers are growing. You're able to tell a bunch of these young folks that there is no legacy and that everything we suffer past 1980 is because we black, not because they're white or because they're white supremacist. No, it's because we're traumatized and we're crazy, but it's because of what someone else did. So I'm not going to sit up here and say let's use slavery or white supremacy, Jim Crow, anything else as crutches and excuses for things over which we have control. No, because I'm not that extreme. But you are an extreme. You think you're in the middle. No, nigga, you're an extreme. You got every right to move through any community, black or white, with every means of protecting yourself. But you better check your subconscious to make sure that if you were surrounded by a bunch of white folks, that you will pull the trigger as quickly, if not more quickly, than you would if you were surrounded by a bunch of black folks. Don't think that you move to a white neighborhood and they surround you, you don't have to pull the trigger. But then when black folks around, you need to take every last one of their heads off to send a message. Don't think differently in that regard. If you do, then I get to do a live stream and I'll post a notice beforehand. Come on up, give the smoke and catch the fire. Sell out. If you just are one of those that is morally conservative and you're not, I'm not talking about Biden supporters are welcome because I'm not one either. But what I'm saying is that if you're just a black conservative, you're not the one I'm taking shots at. We're too similar for that. I'd have to take shots at myself if I'm going to take a shot at you. But if you are one of those conservatives or Republicans, come on up and catch the smoke. I mean the fire. And I'm telling you now, if you're like that, and I don't know that you're like that, identify yourself to me or just block me. Because straight up, you're not going to come to me and tell me that slavery has no effect. Redlining has no effect. Discriminatory loan practices have no effect. You're not going to tell me that every metric in which the black community is behind is because of us and not because of them. You can't tell me that. No, on a micro level, we control several things. And I've already gotten on us about that. You don't have to tell me to hold accountable the black person that was in school and was too cool for school and isn't even basically literate for his age in his own first language. Now all of a sudden he woke and on social media misspelling and mispunctuating everything. You ain't got to tell me to get on them. I already get on them. I don't even want them in pro-black circles. Them niggas illiterate. Oh, you woke now? Nigga, it's too late. So don't come to me and act like I'm one of them. I'm the one that's in the middle of the road. They consider me to be a sellout. Too cool for school all the way up until age 18. Then as soon as high school's done, you don't mind getting an education, but you still got to be a street nigga about it. Even if you're not from the streets. No, they consider me to be a sellout. But you real sellouts. If I can get the time to do a live stream, you can catch it. You're going to hear a perspective you ain't heard before. Because I'm not the opposite extreme you used to being able to point the finger at and actually cast blame on. I think I said enough. Thanks for listening. Appreciate that. Black heart, black mind, black out. Assalamu alaikum. And black heterosexual, non-select, non-conservative male power just because they don't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.